What's up, Key Issues? Garrick here, and welcome to today's video where I'll be breaking down the 7 Kingdoms of Atlantis, what they are, and what happened to each. This video does contain spoilers for DC's Aquaman, so if you have not seen the film yet and care about spoilers, then this isn't the video for you. Go and see it, and come back when you're ready. So with that being said, let's get right into it. Before the sinking of Atlantis, all 7 kingdoms were one and were ruled under King Atlan. After the cataclysmic experiment that sunk Atlantis, the Atlanteans were scattered across the globe and each evolved and formed their own independent kingdoms, each ruled by their own trident-wielding king. The first of these was Atlantis, King Orm, Orvax, Atlana, Arthur, Vulco, etc. Atlantis is the largest and most powerful of the 7 kingdoms and one of the few to retain the original Atlantean form while also granting them the ability to breathe underwater as well as superhuman strength needed to survive in the deep ocean. Alongside the biological improvements, the survivors safely harnessed the energy source to rebuild their destroyed civilization despite the Atlantean Empire splintering. Next is the Kingdom of Xebel, ruled by King Nereus. Xebel rivals Atlantis in terms of technological advancements and military strength. King Nereus forges an alliance with King Orm of Atlantis by promising his daughter Mera to Orm, and the two plan to attack and destroy the surface world. The inhabitants of Xebel share the same characteristics as those from Atlantis, as they also retain their humanoid form, along with the benefits of King Atlan's experiment. In the comic books, Xebel is located somewhere in the Bermuda Triangle, but the exact coordinates are unknown. The third kingdom is the Fisherman Kingdom. These Atlanteans have evolved to become human-fish hybrids and are much more peaceful than Atlantis and Xebel. They are scientists, striving to one day unite the surface and the oceans as one and to educate the surface dwellers. With their king dead, their young princess will likely continue his efforts under the peace that Arthur has brought to the seas. In the comics, the fishermen had perished along with the other missing kingdoms, and not much is known about them, so it's very cool to see this missing tribe come together on the big screen. Next we have the Brine, the last of the 4 surviving kingdoms of the sea. The inhabitants of this kingdom have evolved into crab-like crustaceans. Although they can speak, they are the most primitive of the 4 remaining kingdoms. King Nereus refers to them as a brutish race that only understands force, and Orm and his armies were forced to go to war with the Brine to forcibly take their army for his own so he could become Ocean Master, as the Brine would not yield to any other king. In the comics, the Brine shared the same fate as the Fishermen, as they did not survive long after the fall of Atlantis. So again, really cool to see them in this film. The Kingdom of the Trench may not be considered one of the 4 surviving kingdoms, but their inhabitants haven't gone anywhere. Having to evolve to survive the depths of the trench, these former Atlanteans regressed to become savage beasts uniquely capable of surviving where nothing else can. They've adapted to this environment by no longer relying on sight and becoming extremely durable to withstand the pressures of the deep ocean. Being nearly blind, they have a fear of the light and do everything they can to avoid it. While they do come to the surface when food enters their domain, they do so at night to avoid the bright light of the sun. In the comics, the Trench are drawn to the leader of Atlantis, and Aquaman believes the scepter doesn't hold mystical control over the Trench, but instead, the Trench believe the wielder of the scepter is their true leader. The same could be said for the film version of the Trench, as they guard King Atlan's tomb, and after obtaining Atlan's trident, Arthur is able to control the Trench, a feat thought to be impossible by the other 4 kingdoms. The Kingdom of the Deserters is the first kingdom that did not survive long after the fall of Atlantis, and is likely where the word desert comes from because they inhabited what is now known as the Sahara Desert before it dried up. The Deserters were evidently forge masters, as they were the ones who crafted Atlan's trident made of Poseidon metal. They were also a trusted group by their king, who left his final message in the heart of the deserter forge. The seventh and final kingdom created after the sinking of Atlantis is the Missing Kingdom. Not much at all is known about this kingdom besides the fact that they're, missing. I believe that this kingdom is actually located in the portal at the center of the earth that led to King Atlan, and we will likely see them play a major role in the Aquaman sequel, but that's just an educated guess. The Missing Kingdom could turn out to be Atlanta, Georgia, for all we know. I mean, Atlanta shares the same name as the Atlantean Queen, and it sounds a lot like Atlantis, so, it's as good a guess as any. So that's it. Those are all 7 kingdoms from DC and Warner Brothers Aquaman. I hope you guys learned something, and if you did, remember to like and subscribe. It really, really does help us out, and also be sure to check out all this other Aquaman content that we have for you guys. Thanks for watching, everybody. Remember the motto, it's comics over everything, and I'll see you guys next time.